Right, we're here with...
I'm Lewis Atkinson, I'm the MP for Sunderland Central.
I'm Barry Hyde, I'm the proprietor of the Peacock Pub.
Yeah, so as a business owner, obviously you've got premises here. What was your fear and worries last night? Because obviously we've seen photos and videos last night of Riot and all sorts.
Well, actually we didn't open yesterday at all because the previous day we started to get a sense that something was going to happen. We didn't have any idea at the level of which it was going to happen, but even the slight chance of it putting our staff and customers in danger meant that we took ourselves out of it. And I was in the building during the day keeping an eye on things, and it seemed like it was going to actually be a damp squib. By 6 o'clock there was about 50 people hanging out in little groups on Keele Square, but within an hour and a half later it was full-blown riot that went on till about midnight, and it was horrific to see and heartbreaking that people would do that in Sunderland.
Yeah, I mean, a business owner myself, I know the difficulties of being a business owner. You know, you've got the increase in wage, you've got taxes, you've got everything like that. What did that do for you? I know it's only 1 day trade. Some people are looking at it and think it's only 1 day trade, but that can be massive.
Of course it is, you know, like, but we had to put our staff first. You know, think of it this way. If we opened and that happened, we'd have to close and get the staff out of the city centre. You can't risk that. It's more important than money. You know, and of course we need to be open and making money, and the tills need to be ringing, and obviously things like this. I think everyone with business is going to be worried about the reputational damage of, is Sunderland a safe place to be?
I mean, we've seen a list put out yesterday. We're obviously not advocating for people to go out, but it's well publicised of where these locations are going to be. Newcastle's next weekend as well. So as a business owner as well, do you think that this might be more of these kind of coming or anything like that?
I mean, I can sincerely say I hope not. I can't imagine so. As what we can see here is obviously the tremendous community spirit of Sunderland, and I'm sure anywhere else would be the same. You know, this is the Sunderland that I love.
And then just your thoughts on the whole thing in general.
Yeah, I mean, you know, appalling scenes last night, but like Barry said, you know, they in no way represented the people of Sunderland. This is the people of Sunderland here. There was far-right elements intent on causing trouble. You know, look around us here. You know, you've got Barry's fantastic business. You know, you've got the fire station. You know, we're literally building. You know, you can see the scaffolding of what we're building, the future of Sunderland that we're building, including the different communities of Sunderland coming together to build that. You know, that is the future of Sunderland, and the solidarity that we've seen this morning. Long after the yobs have gone and the thugs are hopefully languishing in jail, and you know, just because people didn't get arrested last night potentially doesn't mean they're not going to be nicked today. You know, spoken to the police, spoke to the Home Secretary last night as well. The full force of the law will be thrown at these people. So, in my mind, they don't get to be riot tourists going from one to the other. One day to the next.
Yeah, it's not an official group that's kind of doing this, so it's kind of people kind of picking up the pieces rather and guessing what it is. Like you say, it does seem a little bit far right. It does seem a little bit of immigration sort of thing. What do you think this all boils from?
Well, clearly social media has a big hand to play in it, which is obviously social media is not a person, but it's an environment where hatred can be exacerbated and can grow into this type of action. And what I gather is there's going to be a lot of this type of activity going on around the country, and something needs to be done about it because it's absolutely horrific.
I mean, what can be done as well? Obviously, we're going to see this reoccurring all over. We've seen it in Liverpool as well. We've seen it all over, and it's going to continue. What's your kind of thoughts?
The government, you know, is really clear that we're throwing the book at these people. We've got extra Crown prosecutors on this weekend to helping the police work through the charging decisions. Like I said, you know, all of the CCTV and everything from last night will be gone through. You know, we also need, frankly, politicians and community leaders to be taking the responsible step. You know, we've seen some totally irresponsible statements this week, furthering the disinformation. You know, the tragic death of the 3 girls in Southport had nothing to do with anything that was here last night. People need to be really clear that, you know, the way that we keep everyone safe is by coming together as a community, not by engaging in mindless criminality like last night. And the police those people will be feeling the full force of the law, I'm sure, in the next day or two.
You know what was happening, right? In the Sunderland Minster, right, in the churchyard. Chris Howson had to stop them from smashing up the tombstones so they could throw the concrete at the police. It's an utter disgrace.
Yeah, and we've seen, obviously, there was photos of people outside of the mosque yesterday kind of ready to protect that and stuff like that. How scary must it be for someone in that community when you know this kind of group, this tribe is kind of coming to Sunderland, to Newcastle, to wherever, to their city?
Yeah, I've spoke to the Bangladeshi community several times yesterday. And clearly it's a worrying time, and for them, we saw clearly Islamophobic and racist chants during the protest yesterday. But the Bangladeshi community has been in Sunderland for more than 50 years. People forget that. This is not people that have just suddenly turned up or that have been really recent immigrants. We've got a history as a city of living and working together. That's exactly what we'll be continuing to build going forward. It's great to see so many people of different communities down here this morning from across the city. That's what I know we'll all be working on and provide that reassurance, and I know the police will be as well. I'm really proud of the protection that the mosque and others were given yesterday, quite rightly, to avoid it being even worse than we saw last night.
Yeah, as well. And the police, who are, obviously they've got they're people, they've got families, they've got friends, they've got everything. They're having to confront this head on. What must that be like as well?
There was 3 police officers injured last night, and I think 2 were in hospital still this morning. My thoughts are obviously with them. Incredible bravery at a time when they're trying. We've seen this in Southport, haven't we? They're very people who are trying to protect the community and investigate the murders, etc. And then the next minute working against yobs intent on causing criminality. Some suggestion that these people think they're patriotic. The last time I checked, it's not patriotic to be chucking stuff at police and attacking them and breaking people's noses. They're yobs, and we need to call them that, and the police have got our absolute full support in tackling them.
And is there anything else you want to just say in general, or message, or anything like that?
I just want to express how heartbroken I am that this is happening in our country, and my gratitude to the police and the council and all of these people for showing us how Sunderland really is, and the true spirit of being a patriot.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned it as well, ashamed. I was a bit ashamed watching it last night as well. Do you feel a little bit ashamed to be British, knowing that this is going on?
Look, I don't know about that, because I don't like nationalism. For me, I'm more kind of open-minded than feeling like an Englishman or something like that, So for me, I just think it's a stain on the history of this country that this is happening,
I think for me, every time we've seen anything like this, the reaction to it has been greater than the initial incitement. One of my proudest photos that I own is my gran in Mowbray Park on VE Day, after this city made an incredible contribution in the military and at home fighting fascists and defeating them in the Second World War. We've got a history of building ships, cranes, communities in Sunderland. That's what we're going to keep doing. I'm not ashamed to be British at all. I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to be Sunderland. What we've seen this morning is the true Britain and the true Sunderland, not the people that we saw last night.
And then message to people that are thinking about going to protest in the next couple of days around the country as well.
Stay at home, please. Come on. Think about what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve here. I think some people are just hell-bent on destruction, but I will guarantee that there have been a percentage of the people who were here last night that watched it unfolding and regretted coming down. Think about it. Come on, stop being such moronic rabble.
Yeah.
Just echo the thing, stay away.
Yeah, people need to stay away. Clearly, these so-called protests are being used by yobs who are intent on creating violence and sowing division. So the best thing to do is to stay at home and work with your community.
Right, there we go. Thank you very much, chaps. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much.